Coming up on Mountain News Weekend Edition, in Florida, COVID-19 cases surge, but now a new threat is looming as Tropical Storm Isaias heads for the coast.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
Good evening, I'm Emily Bennett. After a week of record numbers and deaths from COVID-19, Florida is preparing for a storm that has forced the shutdown of many testing sites. Isaias has been downgraded to tropical storm, but forecasters say it could regain strength. CBS News correspondent Danya Bacchus has more from Los Angeles.
While Florida deals with one of the nation's worst COVID-19 outbreaks, the state is also preparing for a powerful storm.
We thought that we had enough with corona. People are panicking even more about it.
California now has the most coronavirus cases in the country, one of 26 states with rising infection rates. The threat of the virus didn't stop hundreds from attending a Newport Beach church service, despite a local mass gathering ordinance.
We have to be realistic about the destruction that the isolation has been causing.
For millions of out-of-work Americans, enhanced unemployment benefits have expired. On Capitol Hill, top congressional Democrats met Saturday with Trump administration officials to try to break a deadlock with Republicans on a new relief plan.
Just saying we'll do halfway doesn't work when people need homes and need jobs and need housing and need help.
We're still a long ways apart, but like with any deal, as you make progress, I think it's important to recognize that you're making progress.
Another House member, Arizona Democrat Raul Grijalva, announced he has tested positive for the coronavirus. Speaker Nancy Pelosi issued a mask order for all House members and staff this week after Representative Louis Gohmert tested positive. Gohmert had made a point of not wearing a mask on Capitol Hill. And as of Saturday, Target, Gap stores, and McDonald's now require masks nationwide. Danya Bacchus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Here in Kentucky, Governor Andy Beshear provided updated COVID-19 numbers this afternoon. The governor announced 572 new cases of COVID-19. There are now 30,723 coronavirus cases in Kentucky. The positivity rate currently stands at 5.22. There were 5 new deaths today. The death toll stands at 740. At least 8,135 Kentuckians have recovered from the virus, and 638,772 coronavirus tests have been performed in Kentucky. For more information on COVID-19 in Kentucky, go to our website, WYMT.com. Various health departments in the mountains released new COVID-19 numbers today. The Harlan County Health Department announced 4 new cases of COVID-19. This brings the total number of cases in Harlan County to 222. The Bell County Health Department also announced new cases today. The county reported 3 cases, which brings its total to 271. The Lake Cumberland District Health Department announced 27 new cases, which brings the total amount of cases in the district to 1,102. In Lexington, July was a rough month for COVID-19 cases. More than half of the city's total cases were reported during 1 month. Shelby Smithson has a closer look at those numbers and what health officials expect to see in August.
It was a record-breaking month for COVID-19 cases in Lexington, reporting 1,702 new cases in July alone. That's compared to the 1,553 cases that were reported from the date of Fayette County's first case in March through June 30th. July saw Lexington's highest one-day total, as well as 17 deaths tied to COVID-19. Numbers that health officials say are headed in the wrong direction.
If you look at June, that was higher than the months before that combined, and we more than doubled what was in June.
If that trend was to continue into next month, that would mean more than 3,000 cases in August alone, bringing Lexington's total to more than 6,000.
We can't get to that point. We don't want to be at that point, but it is spreading.
Through contact tracing, Hall says they've detected one of the major driving forces spreading the virus has been travel. People going on vacation to hotspots and coming back into the city. And now heading into August, health officials worry that students moving back onto college campuses might exacerbate the problem.
Fortunately, the schools have come up with ways to screen the on-campus students, and hopefully that will go a long way toward reducing the spread. But until people wear their mask, stay home unless it's necessary to get out, and stay 6 feet apart at least from other people who don't live in your household. If people don't start doing these things, it's not going to end, and we can't get this under control.
In Lexington, Shelby Smithson, WKYT.
Hall says Lexington is averaging about 70 new cases per day, with the highest one-day total in Lexington being 116. The 2020 election is now only months away. Senator Mitch McConnell is up for re-election this November. Today, his opponent, Amy McGrath, was in Lexington kicking off a statewide voter campaign initiative. McGrath is calling for no excuse absentee balloting. She says nobody should have to put their lives on the line to vote.
My 79-year-old mom should not have to put her life on the line to vote in this election. This is America. I voted by mail for 24 years in the military. It works just fine.
The voter registration deadline is just a little more than 2 months away, October 5th. To check your registration status, you can go online to GoVoteKY.com. Today marks 1 year since a deadly pipeline explosion in Lincoln County, and now the daughter of a woman killed in that tragedy is opening up. Grayson Passmore gives us a look at the event she organized to remember her mother.
Just 1 year ago, 58-year-old Lisa Derringer's house stood in this patch of grass off Indian Camp Road in Lincoln County.
If you've seen it before, there wasn't a blade of grass taller than the rest. Immaculate, stayed very beautiful. And to see that now, that's kind of hard, you know, because I know she was pretty particular. That part's pretty hard.
On August 1st, 2019, a gas pipeline exploded, killing Lisa Derringer. It destroyed her home, leaving nothing behind but the burned garage and car.
The toughest one I thought back here was the one that didn't make it.
Derringer's daughter, Candy Ellis, revisited the spot where she and her family lost the integral member.
She was a big part of the Gorilla Glue of it.
A year later, and dozens of family members, friends, and even a few survivors of the explosion fill the now deserted spot.
It means a lot to me, to my family, for the support.
Balloons picked out specifically for Derringer.
That was kind of her colors, white and pink, as far as any kind of decorations or anything like that.
Released into the sky with messages of love and grief.
Everybody ready?
A community left to lean on each other after the past year, filled with the unthinkable.
There's really no words. There's no words.
In Lincoln County, Grayson Passmore, WKYT.
A new lawsuit has been filed on behalf of 80 others affected by the explosion. They're suing Enbridge and its parent company, who owns and operates the pipeline.
Well, a few of us did see some pop-up showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. As a matter of fact, a few of our counties went under a severe thunderstorm watch earlier this evening. That expired just a few minutes ago. Let's actually take a look where we do have a few showers left out there on satellite and radar. We zoom on in. Areas down towards 75 over towards London, parts of Laurel, Jackson, Clay counties getting in on a little bit of the showery action. And for the rest of us, we will be seeing some of that as we go through the remainder of at least the early overnight hours before things really start to dry up later. Temperatures out there, we made it into the mid 80s today, so it's nice to see already in the lower 70s out there on our way to the upper 60s later on tonight. And what we're going to be working on coming up in just a few minutes, quiet overnight ahead, just a few of those showers. Much nicer tomorrow, still chance of a stray storm, but more storm chances will be with us as we head into the new work week. I'll have all those details in just a few minutes. Emily?
Thank you, Evan. With restrictions limiting the capacity to 25% inside of restaurants, the city of Corbin had to get creative to help customers enjoy local food. City officials are setting up a string of tents along 3rd and Main Street to allow some relief for local restaurant owners. Guests can order carry-out with the option of bringing their food to the outdoor seating area, something Corbin Director of Tourism Maggie Griebel says goes a long way for the city's economy.
Corbin is dependent upon its local economy, and it's very important for us to not lose any of our businesses. The city is very pleased to have been able to, rise to the call of duty, so to speak, to be able to provide support in the form of outdoor seating.
Kriebel also says this trend will continue until restrictions lessen or are lifted. In Elkhorn City, Gold Ring Diner is a thing of the past. The 20-year community staple closed its doors, but its owners are opening a new chapter. Ducker's Barn and Grill is now opening, keeping the food and folks from the Gold Ring under a new roof, but with a new name. Owner Crystal Potter says the name comes from her brother, nicknamed Duck, who died last year. She hopes to provide a comforting family atmosphere and make history.
And more than likely we'll be serving alcohol. Probably the first restaurant in Elkhorn City to serve alcohol in a long time.
Alcohol sales will not begin until the paperwork is official, but Potter says she is excited to see what is to come as she follows her passion with a business that also honors her brother. Backroads of Appalachia hosted the Clean and Crazy NA 5K run to celebrate those in addiction recovery. WYMT's Dakota Maker spent the day at the 5K run and has more on what the event means to those who attended.
With a shot of a gun, 5K participants begin the journey of bringing hope to Appalachia.
I wanted to show other people in recovery or in addiction, there is a way out and that we have fun in sobriety.
Chastity Souder is celebrating 19 months of being clean and sober. She says the 5K is one way to show support to those who need it.
I didn't think there was a way out of addiction, and I just want to show others that there is a way out of addiction, and all things are possible.
For Backroads of Appalachia, organization leaders say they hosted the 5K run to show support for employees like Souder and those throughout the community.
It's heartwarming. It's what we want to do is to help people. That's why we're here.
Guest speaker and 5K participant Faylin Newdigate Hester is more than 3 years sober, celebrating that milestone on Saturday.
We've got support of the community, people donating things for our raffles, and the support here that I've been exposed to in the community in this county and area is just overwhelming, and it's such a blessing.
Walking the 5K in support of those currently fighting addiction.
That doesn't have any of the answers and is so lost and broken, and just to be able to walk here with my brothers and sisters, it's just humbling.
A word repeated over and over, gratitude.
It makes me very humble to be able to reach out to other people in recovery and to be a light to other people.
As feet run and dance to celebrate a life of sobriety and recovery. In Harlan County, Dakota Makeris, WYMT Mountain News.
If you are battling addiction and need help, you can call the Progress and Recovery Area of Narcotics Anonymous at 833-732-7859. Coming up on Mountain News Weekend Edition, find out what impact Tropical Storm Isaias has had on the Florida coast.
And we're drying out a little bit to close out the weekend. I'll have the details on that coming up next.